This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Hey, a bit later on, we're going to get stuck into the Test cricket, which happened yesterday, and Australia completely collapsed is an understatement. It was so bad. It was so bad and not unexpected.
Yes.
The same thing with this group of guys.
They were okay in the first innings, you know.
Yeah, they fought it out.
Yeah, that's right. They did really well. And so it's hard to believe that same team turned up for the second innings and just completely capitulated.
They were embarrassing.
You said you're going to get into it later.
Yes.
You're getting into it now.
We'll wait until you
I'm
get
not doing this
when you go out
twice.
for a cuppa, when you go out to refill your cup, we'll get into it.
Fantastic.
All right. The NRL's considering following the AFL's lead in mandating mandating that players who get concussion during an NRL game, which just about happens every week, aren't able to play the following
So
week.
they're finally instituting a protocol. They didn't have that.
No, they're considering.
Oh, they're considering it.
Right.
And if you watch some of the preseason games that happened yesterday, there was a game with the West Tigers playing who won, and they were the Wooden Spooners last year. They were playing particularly well. But one guy, I think it was from Canberra, he nailed a couple of blokes in the head.
Yeah.
And one guy was clearly out. And anyway, they walk off the field. He didn't come back on because only minutes left in the game. But they haven't they're considering bringing this in. There's going to be so many lawsuits in the future.
You would think so.
Unless they jump on this straight away.
Like, we know better now. So
We do.
better.
Oh,
That's,
We've known better
that's
for a little while.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. It's not exactly breaking news.
Love there to be a concussion rule here. I'd have you whack me over the head with a fry pan if I could
Well,
get the
Shaun
next
would
week's
never
on.
be able to play.
But you know what? There wouldn't be a concussion protocol here.
No.
That would weaken at Bernie's. You just slump you off on the microphone.
The building was on fire and we still worked.
Yes, we did.
We'll never get over that. We'll never get over that. Matildas,
we never bring it up.
The Matildas won their sixth straight game. They beat Spain for the first time. It was 3-2.
Yeah.
Tony Gustafsson said that they weren't, in the first half, Australia had scored all their goals, but he said that they weren't playing that well. The Spanish were playing better at the time, but we were lucky. I like that. Just the acknowledgement from the team. Keep them on their toes. The World Cup, as Australia's gearing up for, is not until middle of the year. So I think it's July, August, and it's held between here and New Zealand, which will be good. We'll be in a good show for that, actually. And Jack Ginnivan was the one who was the talk of the town over the weekend, and over on the East Coast in particular, because Collingwood is such a big football club. They're saying that's the biggest scandal we've seen in recent times. He was filmed at a hotel in Lorne after they had Collingwood Football Club went down there for a players' trip, I guess.
Yep.
Retreat. And he decided after a few drinks to get involved in some cocaine, it looked like.
Allegedly.
No, I think
White
he's
powder.
acknowledged
I
it.
think
He's
say
acknowledged it.
white powder.
Light powder. He's tried to pass the Nabisan doorstep challenge.
Yeah. So he put his hand up. Obviously, once you get caught, he hasn't said that it was anything other than him doing the wrong thing after a few drinks. And his captain, Darcy Moore, had to front the media conference this morning. Everyone was having a dip at him.
Bet.
We get a lot of education and, I think the community knows that, and that's a source of disappointment for us. But in this case, it's a 20-year-old man who's made an error of judgment, at a venue.
Can I just say, there's education about drugs, right?
Yep.
Which is drugs are bad, don't do them. Then there's also, what about the education of doing something in public?
Yeah.
Like, you
I
know
think
what I
that's
mean?
part
Like,
of it,
that's
mate.
the stupidest. I mean, like, that's the stupidest part for me. When they're out in public and they do this thing and they don't think that people
And
are
everyone has a camera.
everyone doesn't know that that's who you are.
Yeah.
And they're going to film you. That's the biggest crime here.
Yeah, I agree with you. And yes, they do have that conversation. 10 years ago, they were having, longer. I've been out of the game for longer, but we were having that conversation back then because we were told, Steve Rossish, our CEO, said, you can't do this because Channel 7 and the news people are out there wanting information and people got camera phones. Well, that was there.
Yes.
Now everyone's filming everything they do.
Everything all the time.
Literally,
And you
your
are right.
friends would film you.
Yes.
You don't know who your true friends are until an opportunity like this arises where they could possibly make some money off of you. That's the thing.
The only thing you can defend that is when people have had a few drinks, they make stupid decisions, and he's only 20 years of age. I think years ago we would have just said a lot of people said he should never work again, he should be out of the industry. But I don't think it's a great representation of the community as it is at the moment. And whilst it is terrible and he needs to get a kick in the arse, it's not the end of the world.
So he's been suspended for how long? Have they
2 matches
2 matches.
to start the year.
So you're saying that's the biggest scandal of the year so far?
No, they are saying it on the East Coast. And I think it
in
has
Melbourne.
been seen always that way, but I think we're kind of going, we kind of get it, but it's not great.
They're
but we're gonna move
mistaken.
on.
The biggest scandal of the year so far, turn around and look there.
Whoa, where's our
the
darts?
darts have-
Where's
Cleared away.
our darts?
Did you just, no one just...
We have all of our darts lined up meticulously.
I know.
Are they over there?
This looks bad, I know.
Harry's...
Why are all of
I
our
don't
darts
know.
over there?
I was here on Saturday.
Because I can tell you we were shooting something in here and they didn't want darts in the background. I mean, that's not that
Okay.
scandalous, is it?
Well, I think so. It's not back. They haven't been put
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
back. Wow.
Well, that
Rugby
was
speaks to
good.
West Australian tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Time to catch up with our good friend Stevie Butler. Stephen, good morning to you, friend.
Yeah, very good morning. You reckon we can get Harry Styles to do a Savage Garden cover or something
Yeah.
while he's here?
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
why not?
I think he's busy.
We've got a direct line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's
Was
here.
that your favourite Savage Garden song of all time?
Yeah, it'd be close.
Yeah.
What was your
I don't
second?
mind.
I mean,
what's your
Chicken
second?
Cherry Cola.
What's your second favourite one?
That's a very good question. Can I take that on notice?
And Google Savage Garden quickly. So, Steve, you're a man of leisure now.
I am. After 33 years of working for the West, I have resigned. So, looking forward to green or different pastures for something in my life. I've worked at the West for my entire adult working life. So
That's extraordinary.
yeah, and look, it's been a wonderful ride too. It's given me a great life, and I've done some amazing things that I really appreciate. So, just time to do something different.
So what was the
33
straw that broke the
years.
camel's back? What did they do?
Look, it's just my time. I think I'm just a bit old and dusty and grey, and it's time to do something different. I've still got lots of energy, so it's time to put it into something else before it's too late.
Hey, Steve, it's really interesting when you talked about that's your whole adult working life,
Yeah.
and they were saying, I think for people these days, what do they last about 3 or 4 years
Yes.
in one
Yeah.
It
particular
just
job?
won't
and it
happen
just-
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're talking about like scrapping the idea of scrapping long service leave because it's not applicable to people
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah, well, that's true, and there are changes in that area. But look, I started on the 6th of November in 1989 at the Southwestern Times, but I did write a little bit before that as a part-time sports journalist. And Shaun, you would appreciate this because my mates at the Pinjarra Footy Club used to wait every Tuesday morning for the Mandurah Telegraph to come out because I'd absolutely slay my opponent in the paper without actually putting my name in there. So if I was playing on Shaun McManus, it'd be like, and Shaun McManus usually quite dominant, but he was absolutely quiet and stopped by the Pinjarra defence or something like that.
Yeah.
Slay my opponent every week. It's very cheeky work.
Oh, the power of the pen.
So wait, how many years again at the West? How many
33.
years? 33. So talk to me about how technology had changed because I know here
Yes.
at Nova, like
In 20 years, it's
the
changed.
fact that we have seen, we can see people's names come up on a screen and
Yes.
stuff that was unheard of when we first started. Like, what was
No,
the
I
main
had a
thing for you?
typewriter when I started at the
A
Mandurah Telegraph.
typewriter.
Yes. I started with a typewriter under the great Ross Elliott, who many people would know out in Radio Land, the late great. But no, I started out with a typewriter. I think there was a computer called was it a Micro B or something like that?
Yes.
It was a bit like the old Space Invaders games.
Yes.
Like that. It was it was very disturbing. actually.
So when you got
when you think what
computers
you were now.
did you guys have to go for computer lessons to learn how to use
Oh,
it?
yeah, definitely. 100%. I was Brave New World. I thought I was on Mars.
What about the old pencil and paper, Steve, and then
Shorthand.
reading shorthand and then trying to read what you wrote when you're putting together the story?
I think I sent our shorthand teacher into early retirement back at the Southwest Times. She hated me that much, and I was that bad at it. So I end up I've got hundreds and hundreds of notebooks, as you would imagine, and they're all full of sort of butler shorthand, which is illegible to most people, including myself at times, which is quite frustrating. But no, I'd never really warmed to the shorthand doing.
And what about if you're on the road? How did you file a story if you were on the road?
Back in the day,
Yeah.
By Crow?
I don't think you could.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, so actually no, you could. Actually, we used to have. I forgot about this. We used to have some brilliant ladies in the office, copy takers they were called.
Yes.
Copy
And you could
takers.
ring.
You would
you'd
ring
write
your story through.
Yeah, you'd write your story in a notebook.
Yeah.
And you'd call through, and the ladies were absolutely sensational at the West. I missed them dearly because they've gone for a fair while now, but they were brilliant. They'd just do it quickly and efficiently, and your story would be in. And yeah, that's what you do on
So
the
you
road.
just read it out to them and they'd be like, click, click, click on their little typies.
Correct. Yep, correct. I've forgotten all
Amazing.
about
How
that.
good
I'm glad
Amazing.
you reminded me about that.
takers? Ah.
Yeah, the mighty copy takers.
That's
extraordinary,
fantastic,
isn't it?
Now, Steve, I want to change pace for a second. The Australian cricket team were in all sorts yesterday. I turned it on literally at 12 o'clock, and then next thing you know, you blink your eye and they're all out, playing ridiculous shots.
It was a disgrace, wasn't it? I think, less than 90 minutes. They were ahead of the game, in front in the first innings, marginally, and then they go out and they play some of the most insipid stuff we've seen. Now, you know what I think of the Australian cricket team and more broadly what the Australian Cricket Board and how they've handled the Australian cricket team. Well, it's all coming home to roost. You let the tail wag the dog and you are going to get insipid performances, and that's exactly what they've done. And, to see them, they were sweeping more than Sadie the cleaning lady yesterday.
Yeah, wrong.
Sadie the cleaning lady.
Love it, John.
I love your reference.
Good morning, John. Yeah, good morning, John. I believe he's doing well now. But look, to think that they just were sweeping like that, it's a good tactic on the Indian wickets if you can do it. But none of them knew how to do it. I mean, Pat Cummins, that was the worst shot I've seen by an Australian captain in many a year, particularly in the situation they were in now. I remember telling you at the start, I didn't think Pat Cummins should have been captain. He's the best bowler in the world, and he should remain charging in, trying to get people out rather than worrying about running the team. And that's come home to roost too. And you know what? You lose Justin Langer, and all of a sudden all your resilience seems to have gone. It was that they are some of the most pitiful performances I've seen from the Australian cricket team in a long time, and the blood rests right with the Australian Cricket Board.
Well, that are sharp words there, but are we jumping on the bandwagon given that they hadn't been beaten for a while until this?
And they're obviously very good.
Well, I don't agree with what I watched yesterday. I can't believe the coaching staff and the captain had anything to say about that. Hey, don't go out and play these ridiculous shots. Yeah,
don't sweep.
But that said, are we just jumping on because it's an opportunity?
Well, you know what? After that last test, that is the first time that India beat them, Pat Cummins got asked after the game, what do you think about that? And he said, not much, and then laughed. Give me a spell on that. You've got to be tougher than that, and you've got to come out and lead better than that too. But no, I mean the teams they were playing over here, Shaun, during the summer, they were about akin, and with respect to the Mooney Lodge Knitting Club down there in Manjimup, they were probably about akin to them, I reckon. West Indies and a couple of them.
Yeah, I know.
that's
Mickey
true.
Mouse, South Africa.
True.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree. It was horrendous to watch.
Oh my God.
Comes to the crunch, and the new regime failed miserably. So I'm not sure how they turned it around, but I'll tell you what they do need. Cam Green, he changes that whole side around, particularly with their selection. And I'm not sure why you take the other bloke over. And he bowled pretty well, Kuhneman, but why wouldn't you bowl Agar?
So what's going on with that, Steve? We talked about it before. We've spoken to Ashton a lot, and he's a really good bloke. Forget that, but
he was on the trip, and he wasn't allowed to play in the BBL final because he was at a bowling camp. So why aren't they using him?
It's bizarre, and they take a bloke over who bowled pretty well. Give him his credit, and got Virat Kohli out, which isn't easy to do. But I don't understand for 1 second why you wouldn't play a more experienced, stronger part of the team. You bring some new bloke in. I'm not sure what sort of culture building that brings along either when you're knocking off a bloke who's an experienced part of the squad.
Yeah, I agree with that comment, absolutely, yep. Steve, really appreciate your time. We've got to keep moving because Harry Styles apparently is in town.
Steve's got heaps of time now.
Wow. Can we talk about cricket some more?
Oh, Nathan.
Harry Styles loves cricket.
Nathan.
What?
To the moon and back, mate. I like that one.
Oh, okay. On the Google, will you?
Wow. Yeah, you Googled and talked at the same time. Well done, Steve.
I'm just here to help. How
does it go,
Employ
Steve?
this man, someone.
How does it go, Steve?
Me to the moon and back if you be.
If you be my baby.
I sort of regret starting that now.
I know, that's on you. Thanks, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.